So in addition to both the web interface and the desktop tools, users can also access the Enterprise File Fabric via mobile devices as well. We have both apps in the Google Play Store as well as the iOS App Store to allow your users to use their mobile devices to access their data. So here on my Android device, I can click on the SME Cloud File Manager, which launches the application. I have it set up to allow me to log right in. You can also integrate with existing device biometrics to require things like a fingerprint, touch ID, or face ID to be able to access this data. But once I've logged in, I now can see, in this case, if I click Files on Cloud, I can see all of the shared team folders as well as the private providers and folders that I've created for this user. So again, I can now drill deeper down into the share folder and take a look, for example, at some of the files within this shared team folder. Right within here, obviously, I can see all of those. If I wanted to then go and interact with this data, I can touch any one of these files and then be able to do things like download. I can download and view. I can share, so I can just do download and view. Right, so that will download that file and launch in the native viewer to allow me to access and interact with that file. If I go back, you saw we could also do share. Right, so I can create that same shared URL all from within this interface to allow me to share this data out all via my mobile device without having to be in front of my web interface or my desktop view. In addition, just like we have this idea of a cloud drive and a cloud sync on the desktop, we have something similar on the mobile device as well. So obviously, Files on Cloud is the cloud drive real-time view. We can also create sync pairs as well. So I can come within here and say, for example, I want to create a sync and say this local location, like my downloads folder, for example, is now paired up with my backup folder on the cloud. So to set up a sync, it's very simple. I would go back to my folders in the cloud, right? And now let's say I want to keep a backup, a sync of my backup to this device. Right, so I can come in here, I say add to sync. We can see the folder's been added in my sync pairs, and I can come back down. I can take a look. I can see that now my backup folder is being sunk. Right? I can set things like automatically do the sync via an auto sync here. And let's just say every 2 hours we want to sync that data. Right, so now that will allow me then to have, just like that cloud sync on the desktop, a sync so that on my mobile device I've got a copy that is available whenever my device is on, whether it's connected to the internet or not, of that data. And we'll, in this case, every 2 hours, keep it in sync so that anything that changes on the cloud sync back down, and then anything that changes on my device sync back up to the cloud. So the file manager on both iOS and Android provides your users the ability on the go to have mobile access to your data regardless of where it lives based on those share team folders and the permissions that we set earlier as the admin.